guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. I know it's been a while, but hey, Heartland is back tonight, so of course I had to make a video on it. I mean, why not? So I haven't even, this video is obviously going to go out before I watch Heartland Season 19, Episode 1, which premieres tonight on CBC and CBC Gem in Canada. I'm super excited, and of course I'm going to be doing my reviews of every single episode, just like I always do, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about it, but I wanted to make this video kind of before Season 19, and just kind of talk to you guys about the state of Heartland and my thoughts on Season 19 kind of before I watched Season 19 Episode 1, as I said, and also just like the future of Heartland. I just kind of want to make a general video talking about Heartland, not necessarily about anything specific, but of course I'm going to kind of discuss my thoughts on the state of the Heartland community. Spoiler alert, they're not good. And just kind of my general thought process going into Season 19 as someone who is going to be covering it on social media. So of course I see the conversations that are taking place out within the Heartland community. I just kind of want to talk to you guys about that because I think there is some things that are potentially an issue regarding the future of Heartland. But before I continue, I need to remind you guys to please leave a like on the video if you enjoy, and to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more videos like this in the future. If you guys want us to update on Heartland related information regarding release dates of future seasons, information regarding the cast and stuff like that, make sure to subscribe because I try my best to give you guys the most accurate and up-to-date information I can find regarding the future of Heartland. So when it comes to Heartland Season 19, I am super excited. I have actually not seen the trailer for Season 19. I wanted to kind of go into Season 19 of Heartland completely blind. I have read the synopsis of certain episodes of Season 19. I do kind of understand the general idea behind Season 19 and what's going to happen, and kind of the overall feel for Season 19, so I do know bits about that, and of course I know casting information, so of course I know Alicia Newton is returning as Georgie. Super excited about that. I actually cannot wait to see her back in Heartland. She is phenomenal with her performance in My Life with the Walter Boys, but of course she will always be Georgie Fleming Morris to me, regardless of whatever she goes on to do in the future. So I'm super excited about that. But also, when it comes to Season 19 of Heartland, I had seen actually one clip of the trailer, and that is because someone shared it on Instagram, and I followed them, and I didn't realize what it was until after I was watching it. So it was the scene in the trailer, spoilers, where Nathan is talking to Caleb, and Nathan is talking about living up to Ty's legacy, and, you know, kind of like feeling like he is never going to replace Ty for Amy, which he's not. But it's very interesting to see that dynamic, and I'm super excited to see that unfold in this season. One thing I will say regarding Amy and Nathan's relationship is I'm super excited about it. I love Amber Marshall's performance as Amy. Amy's not my favorite character. We all know that Lou is my favorite character because Michelle Morgan just portrays Lou so perfectly, in my opinion, and I just connect with the character of Lou personally. So I obviously, that's my favorite character. But Amber Marshall's performance of Amy, specifically since Season 14, has absolutely been phenomenal. There hasn't been a scene that Amber has been in that hasn't been phenomenal. The acting performance, the acting portrayal of Amy, since Ty's death in Season 14, I think Amber has nailed. She's nailed the emotional part of that performance. She's nailed the grief aspect of losing Ty, and it's genuinely believable. And I've seen TV shows where that kind of stuff is not believable, and it really does affect the overall viewing aspect of the show, but Amber Marshall is just phenomenal in the role of Amy. And when it comes to Amy and Nathan's relationship, like I said, I can't wait to see what happens in season 19. But I also know that there is a large part of the Heartland community that just doesn't want Amy to ever be happy again, like ever, like at all. Like, no, just her happiness is Ty, and that is it, point blank, period, end of discussion. We're not talking about this anymore. Trust me, I read my YouTube comments. I know that a lot of people feel that way. But I actually, over, the last couple months, have gotten into watching Grey's Anatomy. And one thing I realized about the Heartland community and the Heartland fandom from watching Grey's Anatomy, funny enough, is that the Heartland community is so close-minded when it comes to Amy and Nathan's relationship, to the point that it's actually damaging to the show. And the reason I bring up Grey's Anatomy is because Meredith and Derek were, to a lot of people, Grey's Anatomy's version of Amy and Ty. And I would even argue that more people were fans of Derek and Meredith than they are Amy and Ty. But what's interesting about Grey's Anatomy, though, is that when Patrick Dempsey left the show and Derek died, yes, I'm sure that there were some fans that stopped watching this show, but a large part of the fandom was okay with Meredith finding love again. And I don't see that in the Heartland community. I really don't. And so one thing I will warn people of when they go into Heartland season 19 is, if you're going in with the mindset of, no, I hate everything that has to do with Amy and Nathan's relationship, you're just not going to enjoy the show. Because that is the next big chapter for Heartland, is Amy and Nathan's relationship. And that's perfectly fine. I mean, it's completely normal. Yeah, some people don't move on when they lose a spouse, but people do. It's not unnatural. It's not, not normal. It's not weird. And I think it's just a part of life. And it's the part of life that Amy is now entering into, because the writers chose for that to be her character's path in this next chapter of Heartland. And I will be the first to admit that I have not been the biggest fan of the last couple of seasons of Heartland, specifically season 18, because honestly, I just got really, really, really frustrated with the way season 18 was accepted by fans. I think the acting in season 18 from Michelle Morgan, from Amber Marshall, from Sean Johnston, Chris Potter, you name it, the acting is phenomenal and the storyline is great, but I was so mad that so many people were so angered by the fact that Amy was moving on, that because I'm so involved with the Heartland community on social media, and I saw that, the majority of people were not too happy about it, that was really taking away from my enjoyment of the show. And I know that's not a good thing, but that's kind of why I wanted to go into this season not knowing much. Like I said, I do know certain things about the show, about the season, sorry. And I think this season's going to be super, super emotional, super dramatic, super suspenseful. And I cannot wait to see that. And I cannot wait to see what's next for these characters. But please, if you're one of the Heartland fans, you're kind of iffy about Amy and Nathan's relationship, please just give it a chance. Trust that these writers know what they're doing, because I know that they do. They're very smart writers. They're very creative. They've created this family that so many people care about, even outside of Canada, even though, you know, Heartland is a Canadian show. So many people worldwide love Heartland, and I genuinely think that Heartland could be the next Grey's Anatomy. And by that, I mean, I think it could go on for years and years and years. But if people are not open to the idea of Amy and Nathan's relationship, it's going to tank viewership, which is then going to tank ratings, which is then going to tank everything else. And then CBC is going to be like, well, we're done. Nobody watches this show anymore, so let's cancel it. That's what's going to happen. So for me, knowing that information, I was really nervous with season 19, going into season 19, because I was personally excited for Amy and Nathan's relationship. But I don't know if that's a very popular opinion, and let me know what you guys think about Amy and Nathan's relationship in the comments down below. I'd love to know. I know this video is already 10 minutes long, so if you are still watching this video, let me know. Please, if you are a bit hesitant about their relationship, I get it. Amber and Graham did a fantastic job bringing Amy and Ty's relationship to life, and I will be the first to admit that Heartland wouldn't be what it is today without Amy and Ty's relationship that built the show. But now it's time for the next chapter of Heartland, and that is Amy's relationship with Nathan, which I think is great. But I don't know, like I said, if that's a very common opinion. So that is all I have for this video. I kind of just wanted to talk to you guys about season 19 beforehand, about my general thoughts on this season and the state of Heartland and the future of Heartland, which I think could be a very positive one, but only if certain aspects of the fandom change, in my opinion. So yeah, that's all I have for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, drop a comment, and subscribe. And again, if you guys want to stay up to date on everything Heartland related, including my reviews of each and every episode as they premiere every Sunday, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and of course leave a like. It really does help support the channel. I will see you guys after I watch Heartland season 19 episode 1. Goodbye.